If you don't understand the relationship between aircraft and air, it's gonna be difficult for you to understand the flight, even if you are a good pilot. That's why today we're gonna talk about the physical properties of air. First, welcome to BEMG-Flight Science. If you are a student pilot or you are someone who like aviation, you are in the right place, because in this channel we break down complex aviation topic into simple and clear explanation. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. What is air? Air is a mixture of gases that forms the Earth's atmosphere. We cannot see it, but it is a physical substance with measurable properties. In aviation, air is the medium in which the aircraft operates. The aircraft moves through it. The engine takes in air for combustion, and the wings interact with it to produce aerodynamic forces. Air is also matter. It occupies space, has mass, has weight because of gravity. It can also be compressed. All these properties are important because they determine how air behaves around an aircraft. They influence the forces acting on the aircraft and therefore its performance in flight. So, before studying aerodynamics, we need to understand the physical properties of air and how they affect an aircraft. Okay, something that you have to understand. The air may be invisible, but it is not empty. It has a physical properties, and understanding these properties is the first step to understand how an aircraft behaves in flight. So, what are the primary properties of air? Before we understand how a wing creates lift or how an engine produces power, we first need to understand the air itself. Air has three primary properties that describe its physical condition. We have pressure, density, temperature. These three properties are very important in aviation because they affect how the aircraft performs. They are also connected. When one property changes, the others can change as well. This is why altitude, weather, and temperature can have a direct effect on the aircraft performance. So, understanding these three properties is an important step before studying more advanced topics in aerodynamics and principal flight. Remember the three primary properties of air: pressure, density, temperature. What is pressure? Pressure is the force that air applies to a surface. This happens because air molecules are always moving and colliding with the surfaces around them. This is the formula. What is density? Density tells us how much mass of air is contained in a certain volume. When air is dense, there are more air molecules in the same space. This generally allows the aircraft to produce more lift and gives the engine better performance. What about temperature? Temperature tells us how much the air molecules are moving. When the molecules move faster, the air is hotter. These three properties work together to describe the condition of the air around the aircraft. Pressure, density, and temperature can change during a flight, which is why they are so important in aviation. Don't forget to memorize these formulas, because in the next video we're gonna do some exercise and then we're gonna use them. Okay, let us talk about another important thing. Pressure, density, and temperature are connected. When one changes, the others can also change. When temperature increases, air molecules move farther apart. The air becomes less dense. Less dense air can reduce lift and engine performance. When altitude increases, pressure decreases. The air also becomes less dense. When the air is less dense, the aircraft may need more speed to produce the same lift. This is why pilots must always consider the condition of the air, not only the altitude. The altitude that we can see on the altimeter. So remember, temperature, pressure, and density are connected. When the air changes, aircraft performance can also change. What are the secondary properties of air? We already know the three primary properties: pressure, density, and temperature. But air has other properties that are also important in aviation. We have viscosity, speed of sound, and humidity. Each one helps us understand a different part of how air behaves around an aircraft. Okay, let us talk about the secondary properties. What is viscosity? Viscosity is the resistance of air to flow. This is the symbol. I don't know how can I pronounce it, so it doesn't matter. Okay, when air flows over a wing, the air very close to the surface slows down because of viscosity. This creates a thin region called the boundary layer. Because of viscosity, the airflow experiences friction, which affects drag. What is speed of sound? The speed of sound is the speed at which a sound wave travels through air. It depends mainly on temperature. At sea level and standard temperature, it is about 340 meters per second, or around 661 knots. As temperature decreases with altitude, the speed of sound also decreases. This becomes very important for high-speed aircraft. What is humidity? Humidity is the amount of water vapor in the air. When humidity increases, air becomes less dense. Less dense air means less lift and lower engine performance. Just remember, viscosity affects drag, speed of sound affects high-speed flight, and humidity affects air density and aircraft performance. Okay, this is the last part of our lesson. Something that we have to know in this lesson, the secondary properties are not separate from the primary properties. They are connected, and a change in one condition can affect the others. For example, when temperature increases, the speed of sound also increases. Changes in temperature and pressure can also affect the viscosity. Temperature also affects humidity because warm air can contain more water vapor. So imagine a hot and humid day at high altitude airport. The temperature is high, pressure is low, and the air is less dense. High humidity can reduce the density even more. Together, these conditions can reduce aircraft performance. That's why pilots and engineers need to look at these properties as one system, not as completely separate elements. Understanding the physical properties of air is essential for understanding the flight. Pressure, density, temperature describe the primary properties of air. Viscosity, speed of sound, humidity describe the secondary properties of air. And all properties are connected. The change in one condition can affect others' properties. It was BEMG-Flight Science. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and see you for the next class. Bye.